I hear you wholeheartedly, my brother, but I think that the relationships that are and friendship that we have in today's day and age is quite varied. And the reason why I say it's quite varied because the man will have his point of view, the woman would have her point of view. But the point of view that everybody should have is what is best for the relationship on a whole. What's gonna keep the relationship on a even keel? What's gonna keep it balanced? What's gonna rather than me saying I'm right or she says I'm right or I'm wrong, she's wrong. Rather than we have this blame culture, we've got to work out between the two of us what's best for the relationship on a whole. The relationship or a friendship or whatever ship. What is going to be best for the whole.
Okay. So again, it takes me back. Again, it's all about conversation. It's all about how we bring across that message. It's all how we share that. Because, I'm not gonna come in and speak to my respective wife and goes, um, how can I say, in any way, why didn't you do that? Why you could have done this better? There's a better way to do it. You could have, or you could have said, love, I've understand that you've done it this way, yeah, but have you try and see if there's any other
Another way, another way of doing it.
Is this your final? And you put it across that way, and then because remember, if I love her, she love me, or if we're in the workplace and the boss come down and goes, I expect you to know better than that, and how you're gonna turn around and go, I'm not staying in this job. Who the hell he think or she thinks she's talking to?
Yeah.
You understand me?
And that's a very good question because I think that a lot of the time, men and women alike, they tend to allow their egos to get in the middle of it. Their ego takes precedent. The man has a big ego, the woman has a big ego, and then before you know it, there's a clash. If it's a friendship, the ego comes into it. If it's a boss, their ego gets into it. So egos I think has a very big part to play.
Yeah.
But in relationship to friendship.
Do you why would someone or a pair of people
yes
we have disagreements and whatever, but we must always be mindful of what we say and how we say it, because it's two things you can't take back. You can't give back life. You can't give back time.
You can't take back words.
And you can't take back words.
And I understand that.
We can apologize.
That's right.
Yeah. Again.
And that's part of the problem in today's day and age. We as men and as women, they lose themselves in that moment and do not think before they speak.
Okay. Again, and while I support that, it still remains. Yes, we're all human beings.
Yes.
We say things at heated times. Yes. But I can tell you, if there's compassion, if there's love, and there's respect, whoever the perpetrator is, once they realize and they apologize, the person on the receiving end, if we know each other and we spend that time together, we would acknowledge that it's just it's
a work in progress.
It's a genuine mistake. Is the words are not there to personally hurt you, but it's out of provocation or vexation.
Yeah.
You understand?
And I embrace that wholeheartedly. However, if that value is not maintained at a level, that value will decrease. And if the value decreases, the respect decreases.
Mm-hmm.
And if the respect decreases, right, then there's an issue.
So, value as in we value each other.
That's correct.
And
you value the relationship.
Okay.
And you value the marriage.
So if your boss value you,
that's correct.
Your friends around you value you.
Absolutely.
And your missus or your husband or your partner value you.
Yes, correct.
Yes. And maintain that value.
That's correct.
I want to use the word respect. You maintain.
Well, out of the value comes the respect. Because remember, in order to respect something, there has to be a certain value.
Yes.
You have to have a certain value to respect that person. Yes. If the value is low, you can't respect the person.
Wait. Low to who?
Well, you see, this is
that's relative. Because you or me might overvalue myself and think that I am some big fish or big and because like I said, I'm got. Do you mind if I push back on the value?
Go ahead.
Because I think respect become before value. Because even as much as I've got my cat and my dog running around here, and I have to respect them, and I think value and respect, but value for me is a little bit because. How your value of me, you can undermine me. You can see me lower than you, and you understand.
Yeah, but
and that's how I value you. So I speak to you disrespectfully, but if I respect you, regardless of your position or who you are,
yes,
you understand me.
So the question is now. How do you get to the point where you respect somebody?
How do you get to the point to respect somebody? I think you don't get to a point to respect somebody. You respect somebody from the word go until they disrespect you, and even when they disrespect you, what you don't do, yes, is lower your integrity. And do the same as them, then that takes away your right or your position to correct this person.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think.
So you don't. So in other words, now, there's an old time saying you don't fight fire with fire. You don't fight fire with fire.
You understand me? So again, takes you back to where I'm saying. Once you start to speak down to me,
yes,
or disrespect me in any way, I should learn now to take the exit. Because if I say to you once or twice, why are you speaking to me that way? I don't like it. Why are you shouting at me? Why are you treating me this way? I don't speak to you like that. What? And it becomes habitual, because once you say that, again, whether to your friend, your boss, anyone, once you say that, and that person respect you any at all, or it wasn't intentional, they would have think
twice. Yeah, of course.
But if they continue doing it, then they've got
no respect. Okay, but then if the person's got no respect now, if you are on the receiving end as a man, woman, boy, girl, or child, you have to use what I believe is emotional intelligence. And you have to respond to them and let them know that their disrespecting which they just put towards you is unacceptable.
Yeah. So
and as such, if it continues, then the relationship cannot continue.
So as a person, myself, I do a few courses on emotional intelligence myself and critical thinking. I've always try and apply emotional intelligence. It's something that you should have naturally, but you can. And when that come across, instead of going, I just says, excuse me. The way you speak to me just now, it may not be intentional, but I didn't receive it pleasantly. And if you don't mind, next time you're speaking to me, address me. I say in that polite way, less emotionally involved.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, and I address it that way. But I've also been in situations where I've addressed it that way, but it still continues.
Right.
That's why I've come to the conclusion or the understanding that any way someone speak to you, yes, it's intention, especially after you address it. If it continues,
well,
would you?
Yeah, I would second that, and the reason why I second that is, you know, if we look at it from the biblical point of view, it says, "What is in the heart of a man comes out of their mouth."
It's not what you eat defiles you. It's
what
what comes out defiles
you. So, when a person is disrespecting you as an individual, it's what they think of you in their heart.
So, with that said, like, subscribe, and leave your question. And for all my life coaching people out there, ask the question and we leave this with you. Whether intimate relationship, friendship, or in the work, you take note of how you've been spoken to. Because, believe it or not, any way that person speaks to you, especially if it's constant,
yes,
after you address it,
absolutely,
any way they speak to you, that's how they will treat you for life. You'll never get promoted. You'll never have a good friendship if it's friends outside. And if it's intimacy, even worse. Because how can you make love? How can you speak to someone? Engage with someone that every time you talk, yes, it's the tone is not correct.
That's great.
Especially if it's not intentional.
Yeah.
Once you acknowledge it, take the exit. If you address it a couple of times and it's not changed, take the exit.
Simple. Well, you know, just to reiterate on that, I think sometimes we need to be stoic men out here. And if you're in a relationship, friendship, whatever relationship you're in, if there is a level of disrespect, out of the heart, the mouth speaks, biblically. Out of the heart. Whatever's in the heart of man comes out of their mouth. Yeah? Whatever they think of you in their heart will come out, be displayed. So, I said it to say this. Be strong, be courageous, and speak and your words to the other person and convey your words that it is unacceptable. And if that is not corrected, then as my beloved Neil Isaacs has said, Patrick Neil Isaacs has said, you exit. And it's as simple as that.
Okay.
We want healthy relationships. We don't want relationships that don't serve us.
And remember, HELP.
Help.
A lot of us
We need it
but we are scared.
to say it.
Once you acknowledge it,
Yeah.
ask for it.
Right.
You can call us, ring
Ring
us, or send a message. And if we can't, we will direct you
to a body where they will be able to take your case, and they will give you all the necessary
assistance
assistance
you need.
you need.